Hello and welcome to the Dutchin channel. It's Thursday, the 2nd of May 2024, and it's getting round to 8 o'clock in the morning. And we're going to do our first meeting of the day selections, and these are going to come from Redcar. We've got 4 bets here, and just going through the card at Redcar just to see if there's any extra non-runners. And there's the first non-runner of the day, which I've already got, but that's the 317. Non-runner here will be Protest Rally. And in the 427, where it was only a 4-horse race anyway, but now down to 3, Mead Gold is a non-runner, Mead Gold. So that leaves 3. That is one of our betting races, but looking at it, I just can't see that happening. So we're going to start on the 142. So let's go into our templated spreadsheet. And the first race there, the 142 at Redcar. Our top selection here is going to be Red Hatter. Red Hatter. So let's move this along. I have changed the font slightly and everything. I do like messing around with these kind of things. So the first selection, as I say, is going to be Red Hatter. So let's have a look in the matchbook, and you can see straight away that it's still 110 on the over round. Isn't great, but if we don't start now, it will get into a period where I need to do other things. So let's start with the 142, and Red Hatter there is currently 36. Don't forget, like I told you, that this system does bring up quite a lot of outsiders. They don't really win, but they're there to add the number of runners that we've got, and at some point we will get a big winner. The second selection is Fairfax Beauty. And Fairfax Beauty, that's another outsider. That's currently 38. And let's go back to the first one for a minute. Red Hatter, 36, stakes of £2.78 will return us £100. And Fairfax Beauty, currently on 38, £2.63 will return us £100. And our third selection is Emil Shan. And Emil Shan, that's 18 at the moment, and stakes of £5.56 will return us £100. And our fourth selection is On the Bubble, and On the Bubble, that is 17, stakes of £5.88 would return us £100. And our next selection is Kingsford. And Kingsford, another one down this end of the table, 16.5, stakes of £6.06 would return us £100. And Alice's Impact is our 7th selection. And this is 9.8. That's the first one we've got that's under 10 to 1, you might as well say, or even further than that. But we got £10.20 stake on Alice's Impact that will return us £100. And our 7th selection, which I'm sure I said that about Alice's Impact, but the 7th selection here is Sheila Tequila. And Sheila Tequila, this is another one, an outsider at 18.8. And stakes of £5.41 would return us £100. Let's have a look how much we've staked so far. 38.52. So we've got 11.48 left. And the next selection is Happy Helen. And Happy Helen, that's second in the betting at 5.1. So we don't have the £19 there. So as I said, where we added these up, we've got £11.48. So that will be our last bet in the 142. We've got 7 running for us here, which are Red Hatter, Fairfax Beauty, Emil Shan, On the Bubble, Kingsford, Alice's Impact, and Sheila Tequila. One of those would return us £100, and the lower amount would be Happy Helen, which I will do on the recap. So full of outsiders in that one until you get the Happy Helen. Then moving into our second betting race, this is going to be the 317. And our first selection will be Irish Dancer in the 317. And that's the non-runner that we done earlier on. Irish Dancer, that's another outsider to start the race off. That's 48. Stakes of £2.08 would return us £100. Brownlee is our second selection, and Brownlee, that's currently in at 17, and stakes of £5.88 would return us £100. Our third selection is John Kirkup, and John Kirkup, another one in double figures. This is 12.5. Stakes of £8 would return us £100, and Mrs. Trump will be the fourth in. That's currently 23, and stakes of £4.35 would return us £100. King of the Jungle is our fifth selection, and this is 5.3 at the moment. So stakes of £18.87 would return us £100. And so far we've laid out £39.18, so £10.82 left to spend. And Show Along is the next one, and that's 3.35. So we can't afford nearly £30 on that, but we did have £10.82. So in the 317, we've got 5 running for us there. That's Irish Dancer, Brownlee, John Kirkup, Mrs. Trump, and King of the Jungle. And the lower amount would be Show Along. In our third race, which is going to be the 352 at Redcar, our top selection here would be Kali Kapoor. So we'll go into the 352. And Kali Kapoor is the outsider at 22. I do like giving these outsiders, but for some reason the system doesn't pick them up very well because none of them are winning. But we did have a couple of days ago 133.00 second, which was our top selection. So they are getting a bit closer. It will happen sooner rather than later. We are getting double price winners. There isn't no problem with that, but I'm on about like your massive winners. Then our second selection here, let's do Kali Kapoor. The price was 22, and the stakes £4.55 would return £100. And our second selection is Barley, and Barley at the moment is 10. So stakes of £10 would return us £100. And our third selection is Barry Schnikov. I've had this one before and struggled with it. So, right, 4.9 that is currently. And stakes there of £20.41 would return us £100. And our fourth selection is going to be Never Ending, which is currently 3.75. So before we go into that fourth one, the stakes for the 3 that we'd done previous, £34.95, leaves £15.05, which will be our last selection. So in the 352, At Redcar, we got 3 running for us: Kalikapur, Barley, and Baryshnikov, and Never Ending will be the lesser amount. And into our last race, what we're going to bet in, or maybe what we're not going to bet in, I should say, will be the 427 at Redcar. Just 3 going to post now with that non-runner of me gold. And our top selection here is going to be Chiefman. And Chiefman currently trading at a better price than it was in the paper, I'll give it that, but it's 1.46. The maximum stake we can have here is £50 because that's all we can have to return £100. But in this instance, because of the price being so short, this isn't going to return £100. So this will be our only selection, Chiefman in the 427. So that's our 4 races completed. But we're now going to go back just to do a recap, and we're also going to do our selections that are not going to return £100 but are going to return something. So we're going to start off again with the 142, and we've got 7 running for us in the first: Red Hatter, Fairfax Beauty, Emil Shan, On the Bubble, Kingsford, Alice's Impact, and Sheila Tequila. One of those 7 would return us £100. And our other selection is Happy Helen. We've got £11.48 left to put on this one. We're going to times that by the price of 5.1, and it will return us £58.54. So it still will be a profit, and if not, at least we're going to get our money back if that was the win. Now, if you go back and have a look at yesterday, we've been doing really good of late. But yesterday, unfortunately, it was either the first 4 or 5 selections that ran, all lost. So I was chasing an uphill battle to the end, where at the end I managed to get 1.6 points down for the end. It is on the top of the screen here, but the 1.6 points, yeah, well, it wasn't good in the end, but I'd rather have started well, because then we can either cash out or carry on or do what we want, and you're not so much under pressure when you start well. So let's go into race 2 at Redcar. This was the 317, and I say race 2, I mean betting race 2. And we've got 5 running for us here: Irish Dancer, Brownlee, John Kirkup, Mrs. Trump, and King of the Jungle. One of those 5 would return us £100. And the next one we want to look at is Show Along, where we've got £10.82 left to stake on this one, and we'll times that by the price of 3.35, and that will return us £36.24. So there'll be a loss there of around £14, but we do have 5 running for us. So that's race 2. Race 3, or betting race 3, the 352 at Redcar. We've got 3 running for us. They are Kalikapur, Barley, and Baryshnikov. One of those 3 will return us £100. And Never Ending, we've got £15.05 to put on this one. Then we will times it by the price of 3.75. So that's going to return us £56.43. So it will be our money back and a little bit of profit there, but it's better than losing, as I always say. And in the last race, which was the 427, only 3 went to post on this one, or are going to post, I should say, on this one. The stakes would be £50 if you decide you're going to do it, times by 1.46. Yes, it will give you a return of £73, but you won't have another horse running for you. All your eggs will be in one basket, and it will only be Chiefman. And you can say to yourself, well, at that kind of a price, it should be a certainty, but trust me, they're not. And in tactical races as well, with only 3 runners, things happen. So you're better off really not betting in races like that. But I'm hoping to get back on the winning trail today. We did the day before. We won quite well the day before, and then the previous 2 days where we had 20 winners from 40 selections, 17 of which of those losers were second. I know I do repeat a little bit of what I say, but if you look back at the winning day and how many seconds we had, and even yesterday, all we needed yesterday, because we were 1.6 down, we just needed one of those to win to get us back another 2 points and put us in credit. And we had 9 losers yesterday, straight losers, I mean. Not because some of the part winners become losers as well, but proper, like, not in the first one, if you like. So it didn't win. So I call that a loser. Those ones, we had 9 of them, and 7 of those were second. So it just needed one more to win to put you back in front again. That's how close it can be nearly every day. But we'll see how today goes. But that's your selections at Redcar. And good luck with whatever you're betting in those 4 races. Thanks for watching.